thank you for being here today, and thank you for giving the opportunity to present here for you. My name is Olli Tuomel, and I come from Bridgetech Technologies. We are like up here. We are also based in Oslo, Norway. Same roots for the company. But our business is monitoring and analysis. That's all we do. So we provide products, solutions for video monitoring in any type of network. And we have been very successful on this industry. Nearly every European operator of TV services has some products from us. Also the same in the US, but especially in the Europe, we have been very successful. People have been adapting our technology very well. My presentation topic today is integrated services monitoring. And what we mean by this is simply the monitoring of TV services from end to end. So basically, from the source, from the studios, from the production, all the way through the TV production, the OP tracks, studios, contribution, and so on, through the distribution to the end customers. This whole end-to-end chain is what we measure and monitor. And for this purpose, we have different type of products. Today, we have some software-based products running on server, and in addition, some hardware-based products for different type of applications, typically to be used somewhere maybe in remote locations. My presentation today will focus on 3 separate topics. First, I will talk about Nomad, this quite small portable device. Then second, I will talk about overall visibility into the network as a sort of network understanding management layer. And then the third topic which is more for the uncompressed video monitoring for TV broadcast production. But before moving to these 3 topics, just sort of a note, when we talk about monitoring, typically divided to sort of quality of service monitoring and quality of experience monitoring. And by quality of service, we basically mean any type of metadata or sort of a metrics of the network behavior, the signal behavior, that type of measurements. And this happens to multicast IP, OTT, RF, any type of distribution technology. And then on the quality of experience side, it's more about decoding the video, decoding the audio, and having some visibility of the quality of those signals. If there is some blockiness or blurriness or any kind of that sort of issue with the content itself. The first topic, Nomad. So this is our portable device. We have the similar functionality on the rack units, but this is pretty neat device. It's a small portable. You can move it around based on your needs, where you want to monitor or where you need to have some understanding on your network. And this device, even though it's a small package, it covers quite a bit of different kind of functionality. It does IP multicast monitoring, traditional transport stream over IP, general, again, quality of service, general metrics of those signals. It covers OTT, MPEG-DAS, HLS type of signals. It has the RF inputs for satellite, terrestrial, and cable. And then some functionality that we have been recently working a lot is the ad insertion, the SCTI mark monitoring. So that's one large area that lately has been in interest of a lot of people to understand how the ad insertion works. In some cases, the local cable operators, for example, they do their own ad insertion into the content so that they can earn money on that. And they need this one to understand how it works. We do, of course, everything on the MPEG transport layer. We provide the ETR 101, 290 measurements and monitoring, like over here. This one is showing our ETR view, plus all the other transport stream, PSISI table metrics, like on this picture here. And then, in addition, we do a lot of additional IP network measurements and IP metric traffic analysis and so on. in the end of this year, we are releasing a new version 7 software where we are adding for free for anyone who just does the upgrade a new presentation layer on the web user interface. This is because there is so much of the information inside the product that you can collect and see. We felt that we need to have a top level layer on this product to help people to understand what they do and what they measure. And this is just a quick view on some of the things. So we are trying to gather the key performance indicators into a one view and make it easy to understand what happens in the network. But this is coming in a couple of months on new software. In addition, still have the same old view, like here is some information about the OTT monitoring. On OTT, we do some active testing. We join the OTT flows, show the different profiles, what type it is, video if it's available, some metrics on the content itself and the downloads and so on. That's of course all the IP multicast, OTT, all that is for the IP-based interfaces, but then in addition it has also these, well, it has the ASI, but also the DVP RF interfaces built in on Nomad. So when you have the Nomad, you have by default the RF interfaces there. There's one for satellite and one for cable and terrestrial. And this is then, of course, for all sort of RF measurement understanding, the trending of, like here is the signal to noise ratio, trending, modulation error ratio, whatever RF level you want to trend and see, plus constellation diagrams and so on, plus then all the MPEG transport stream, PSI, SI, ETR, all these details are there available for each RF signal you measure. The next topic I have is VPC Live for service visualization. So VPC is our network management tool, basically a software where we collect all the measurement metrics that we have on the different probes. Whether it's Nomad or the VP120 or whichever model of our probe you have, all this data can be gathered into this VPC for centralized aggregation and analysis. So here this is, for example, just a view of service list for last 4 days of operation and the current state of the services. This has been available for a very long time, this product, and I know some of you also have this product. But what we are now bringing onto this one is something we call VPC Live. So we are adding better understanding of the video quality or the videos itself that the probes are measuring. So by this function, we allow VPC server to receive your IP streams. They can be directly multicast from your network. If this VPC is connected to your data network, you just stream the multicast into your VPC. Or you use one of the probes, Nomad, VP220, whatever, and you SRT those signals that you receive to VPC. Because typically you only collect the metadata into VPC, the measurement results. But in this case, you also take the multicast, either directly from your network, or if this is on some remote location, you can take the satellite or cable input and SRT that back to VPC. And then what VPC does is creates this type of like a mosaic type of a view of these services. This is a new license-based function on VPC. So basically then you are able to have the metadata, the measurements, all that, but then also like a mosaic type of view of your content. This then allows you to have not only the metadata, plus then also live videos. So VPC is then basically taking those up to 20 simultaneous videos from SRT, from probes, or from multicast, and transcode them to lower bitrate, and then this is just a web browser view to VPC, and then the transcoded content is accessed by any computer remotely via the web browser, the basic HTML5 technology, and you can play the videos there. They are independently transcoded, so you can listen to audio on the channel you select and see also this is the last 4 days of service operation. So this is one new functionality on the portfolio on VPC to combine the sort of the network analytics with some video content visibility. Then my third topic is more on the TV broadcast production around a product called VP440. It's a software product running on a server, and it is only for uncompressed video audio monitoring. So it's taking uncompressed ST2110 based protocol based video inside. So this would be somewhere in the broadcast production environment. Having two different, usually there is the main and the redundant, the blue and amber network, two networks that it's connected to, doing all the analytics there, and then again providing different ways for users to access this content. And again, all this is web browser based, but there are a bit different ways to use that I will show you in a moment. So this is one sort of general diagram how or where you would be using the 440. So there is a place of acquisition of the content. It can be stadium, whatever. So you there on a truck, on an outside broadcast vehicle, you could use it, or in some studio environment. You have one 440 connected to the IP network, and then you would be using them connected again in the network on the production side, where you do these different actions or different workflow processes for the content. For example, we have a customer in Australia who is producing the Australian football content, and in the past what they did was that whenever there was a football match somewhere in Australia, which is a massive country, they had to always send people to the stadium to produce the TV production and all that. But now with ST21 technology, ST21 based networks and our 440, they don't send all these people out to these remote stadiums. But all the production, all the video controlling and all the audio controlling and everything is done remotely in Sydney. So then basically they have just a small set of equipment and people in these locations across the whole Australian continent. Whenever there is a football match, all the content is fed over IP network, over ST2110 network to Sydney, to studio, where then they use the 440 to help everything happen there. And then it makes it all very integrated. Then you because in the production it used to be very isolated, different people doing different things. There is an audio engineer, there is a video controller, there is some network guy, and so they all had different silos where they work, and they all had different products, so what they used. But now it's so much more integrated together. You use the VP440 for so many different things, for the camera control, audio, IP networks, on the post-production, so many different things, this one product. So it's basically just connected to the IP network, and then different people can use it for different function within the same whole integrated system. And then when you do this, you don't necessarily use the product user interface as you normally would do and use the same de facto user interface for all the users. But in this case, you tailor the user interface as your need. So for example, this is a position for camera controller, the guy who controls 4 cameras here by this device. Then in front of him has this dual iPad setting. This is our user interface from the VP440, but it's not the standard user interface, but it's something he has created for himself, tailored for his use case. So he has the 4 cameras here and the 4 waveforms, all of them there, what he needs in order to do his job with the camera control device. For this purpose, we for example, we developed this sort of aluminum kits where you can plug in iPads and then install them on the studio environment like this. The way how we actually do this is we use this, what we call Canvas, this technology. This is to allow the customers to tailor the user interface in the way they wish, to basically pick and choose what they want to have in front of their face. And again, it's available very, very low latency over HTML5 web browser technology. So this is web browser, our canvas, and then as a user, you just choose what you want to have there. which channels, which tools, whatever diamond diagrams or waveforms or audio leveling tools, whatever. You just choose and size and place them as you wish. And then you can access this by computer, by iPad, whatever device you want to have it in front of your eyes, because it's all web browser based. Here is one example of this use case. This is from the FIFA Football World Cup in Qatar in 2022. This is a camera shader position. One person using this to control his 4 cameras from the stadiums. There are the views from the 4 cameras he is controlling, the program preview. These are just the monitors what he has there. But then this is our aluminum kit where he has 2 iPads. Now this one is showing the production control software. That is not ours, but some control system where he controls what cameras he wants to watch. Here on this second iPad he has created this canvas with 2 videos and some waveform vectorscope images in front of his eyes. And then he can change between those. So that previous was Qatar 2022, where some of the videos was just on a normal monitor with the HDMI cable. In this case, it's all IP. This is basically doing the same, but now it's all IP. No HDMI cable, no need to be local anywhere. This is an Apple screen, which is just tilted 90 degrees. This is simply showing a web browser and our canvas from VP440 on it. But you can have the 4 cameras there, any of the tools, the big program preview of the signal that you are distributing, and again, the control of the camera. So this is what is actually planned, what NEP is planning for the next Football World Cup in the US here next summer, yeah. So no separate, very expensive Sony screens with HDMI or anything like that, but simply high quality, simple HDR compliant screen and then web browser from our VP440 to present everything the camera shaders need. That's all from me. Thank you. That was 3 very separate topics in the area of monitoring and analysis. I hope it was interesting for you. If any further questions, I'm available and the guys at the HFC Technics can for sure help you. Thank you.